right, good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you most warmly to this first of the several lessons that we'll be having, life lessons that we'll be having on our six courses. This course, of course, is ACE811-911, Advanced Educational Research Methods and Statistics. I'd like to very warmly welcome, our facilitators who are already seated in our coronavirus-free room. I can see Fred Awa is smiling, Adibayo is also smiling, and the others. Welcoming in particular the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, and the Professor Juma Shabani, who is the UNESCO juggernaut, the Professor Mike Faborode, former Vice Chancellor of Bafemi Awolowo University, and Professor Nimi Briggs, and several others. We have 45 minutes for this part of the schedule for today. In another 1 hour, in about an hour, Professor Shola Adesope from the US will be taking on the course. So once again, very warm welcome. I will begin by sharing with you my slide for my PowerPoint file for the course, for this lecture. Just give me a minute and I'll just be there. So today, April 6th, 2020, we thank God for keeping us. This is our first lecture in the course Advanced Educational Research Methods and Statistics. And we're looking at issues in advanced educational research and statistics, which will essentially be an overview of this course. So, what are we going to achieve at the end of 3 months? Dear facilitators, dear students, we are going to be describing the research process and emerging trends. And we'll be looking at types of research. As you will note as I proceed, although this course is about educational research, we're going to make it generic to include other types of research, science and humanities and all. Because research essentially has some common thread. And we'll be focusing on descriptive and experimental studies. We will be constructing research instruments and be determining their validity and reliability. We'll also be conducting online surveys. We'll learn skills of conducting online surveys. What are the other goals of this course? We'll be conducting pure and quasi experiments. In the US, the pronunciation is quasi, but here we want to call it quasi experiments. And then we'll look at challenges to quality research in Africa, and we apply inferential and non-inferential statistics for analyzing qualitative data. We're going to take some interesting look at meta-analysis of research. How do we conduct meta-analysis of research? And then look at qualitative methods for data collection and analyzing such data. It's gone past 5 minutes after 10, so I'm no longer admitting people into the room. We will be looking at how we conduct and report mixed method studies. And very importantly, after doing our thesis or project reports, I will publish in reputable national and international journals and avoid pediatric journals. So the last objective is number 12, which will be on ethical issues in research. So what will be the statistics that we'll be focusing on. The statistics will be, these people are disturbing me here. Okay, now the statistics will be the two domains, parametric statistics, and within parametric statistics, we'll be focusing on t-test, analysis of variance, analysis of covariance, multivariate analysis of covariance, analysis of moment structures, cluster analysis, multiple regression, and factor analysis. For the non-parametric area, our focus will be on chi-square and Kruskal-Wallis ANOVA. We have assembled for you, dear students, a superlative 5-star group of facilitators. You can see the list here, and I've sent you the biodata of all of them. Professor Bill Kyle from University of Missouri, St. Louis. Professor Olusola Adesope will be taking you at about 11 o'clock. In another 50 minutes, Professor Adesope will come on. Professor Juma Shabani, who is already with us in this meeting, in this class, from University of Burundi. Professor Bayomi Adelaja Arigbabu, who is the Vice Chancellor of Tai Solarin University of Education, is a Professor of Mathematics Education. Professor Tony Okebukola-LASU-ACEITSE, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Osun State University, a very solid person in research. Professor Asabe Kabir, Usman Danfodio University. Professor Tunde Owolabi, who is there, is Deputy Center Leader of our center, a great physics educator. Professor Ayo Ahmed, who is from University of Ibadan, a great statistician and counseling psychologist. Professor Uche Udeani from University of Lagos. Dr. Femi Jayola is our expert on qualitative data analysis, qualitative research and data analysis from Washington State University. Dr. Rashid Soni, who is our center manager of Lagos State University. Dr. Michael Ahove, who is a wonderful researcher, an expert in analysis of moment structures and instrument development. These are our facilitators. Let me go back again. Okay, fine. So now we did a survey. We surveyed you, surveyed our participants, our students, and asked you for. We wanted to assess your competency level, for all the courses, all the topics that are listed earlier. So the survey, which I closed just this morning, had 77 respondents. So in our group here, we have about 80% who are PhD students, and the remaining 20 who are masters. So let's take the first topic, which is emerging. I'm being covered. Just a minute, please. Yeah, so we've tried to find out report of survey on entry competency level of students in the course. As I said, 77 of us. Our first topic is research process and emerging trends in educational research that Professor Adesope will be taking you very shortly. Now, what we found is that about half, more than half of you reported that they have fair competence, if you like, in that topic. So 48%, 41 out of the 77 of you, sorry, there's some noise coming. 41 of you, you can see fair. So why we're doing this is to know which areas to place a lot of emphasis. You can see we don't have so much here because more than half of you are on firm ground with regard to research process and emerging trends. So let's go on to the next topic. For topic 2, on types of research, with focus on descriptive and experimental studies. I need to pause a little bit again to number 2, which you can see on my screen. Types of research focus on descriptive and experimental studies. Here we find, that's this one here, about half of you, 36 out of 77, have fair competence in that topic. Let's go on very quickly. Construction and determination of validity and reliability of research instruments. That's Professor Mike Ove's turf is terrain. About half of you to feel confident there. Now you can see very poor is this purple. Very poor is purple. You can see this is not too bad. Meaning that at the appropriate time, our emphasis will now be shifted to those areas where the purple is coming up quite strong. So let's go on to the. Sorry, I may not admit this person. Conducting online service. This is not too bad. Excellent is this, but on the whole, the fair assessment is this. What about conducting pure and quasi experiments? As I said, if you like, you can call it quasi experiments. 18, very good. This is fair. This orange bar is fair. So we can say it's fair to fine, more or less. So we can see that quite a number of you are able to conduct peer and quasi experiments. This is not unexpected because about 80% of us in the class are PhD students. What about identifying topic 6, identifying challenges to quality research in Africa that Professor Juma Shabani will be walking us through? So 20 of us indicated that we are very good in there and very fair. That's the yellow bar. What about hypothesis testing? Hypothesis testing that Professor Ayo Ahmed will be looking at quite a number, 26, say very good. And you can see the bar. The very poor is this purple, so that's pretty low. Now, let me take all these people again. Today will be, I have to admit him. But if it goes off again, I may not take him on. So computing and interpreting t-test. Computing and interpreting t-test. Very good is this. So that is not too bad. The yellow orange bar is here. So you can see this. This purple, that's very poor. It means we should place some emphasis on this. We are moving now into the area of the statistics, advanced statistics part. So you will see how this purple bar keeps popping up. So let's take on analysis of variance. So very poor, you can see. So we're going to spend quite a little while on analysis of variance. What about multivariate analysis of variance and multivariate analysis of covariance? You can see the purple bar has come up really strong. That's very poor. We go on to the next one. Computing and interpreting correlation coefficients. This is not so bad. It means a number of us are able to do compute correlation coefficients, and you can see the purple bar is come up, but the yellow bar, which is the fair one, is not doing so badly here too. What about multiple regression analysis? Very poor is this. So quite a number of us, actually most of us, are very poor in multiple regression analysis as well. Computing and interpreting analysis of moment structures. AMOS. AMOS is a very high level statistical analysis. Can that student please give us computer analysis of moment structures? As I said, this is a very high level analysis, which you find very useful, especially in forecasting. 38, more than half, indicated they are very poor here. Very, very poor. And means we're going to spend some time on that. As you can see from our timetable, we have devoted almost all the Saturdays for workshops, 3-hour practical workshops on these topics. Computing and interpreting cluster analysis. You can see very poor too, quite a number. Factor analysis, very poor, is fairly heavy here too. And then interpreting chi-square. This is not too bad. Chi-square, I'm sure most of us are familiar with. So you can see the fair bar, the orange bar, is the tallest. Permit me to use that phraseology. Now, Kruskal-Wallis ANOVA is a non-parametric statistic, which many of you are not familiar with. Is the alternative to the F-test in when you have violated assumptions, parametric assumptions. So meta-analysis of research. I'm sure Professor Sholadi Sokwe from Washington State University, Pullman, USA, will like to say this. This very poor 26. That's about a third of us, more than a third, are not too familiar with that. Applying quantitative methods for data collection and analysis. This is it. Well, a good number, fair here. That's the orange bar. 34 of us, about half. Mixed methods design, not too bad. Awareness of ethical issues in research is also not too bad. What about skills for publishing in reputable national and international journals? You can see this is very good, is 25, meaning that quite a number of us have been making efforts to publish in national and international journals. This is not unexpected because the bulk, that is 80% of the students in this course are doctoral students and may have been publishing. But you can see this this purple bar means that we still have some deficiencies to cover. Now, we ask that you should give us your proposed project. Let me just. We ask that you should send us your proposed thesis titles. So here we have them, and one is quite impressed at the diversity. And I am assuring you that you'll find this course very helpful in pursuing your research agenda. Adebanjo Adeshino from Nigeria, impact of ICT on academic performance of secondary school students in Lagos State. Adebanjo, part of environmental interactions on population and public policy, case study of Ogun State. Khadija Adedo, the mathematics teacher. Going on to, please permit me some technology challenge at some point, and you ease out. So I'll keep checking the waiting room. So these are the studies from Nigeria. From Burundi, we have Naden Nibigira. I'm so sorry, I'm not pronouncing the name so rightly. La Burundi or Mirror the Son Histoire Justice. This is very good. Akad Uduwimana, English for specific purposes in Burundi higher education. It needs analysis perspective. Ladislas, a good friend. You're all my good friends because I taught you a course, ICT, in doctoral research from title to thesis, and you all did very, very well. I'm highly impressed. This mathematics, Ladislas, approximation by exceptional polynomials. Let's look at some others. So here we go with some other. That's Fred from Ghana, testing the efficacy of the cultural techno-contextual approach, intervention measures for breaking difficulty in the study of public administration. So Fred, we're proud of you. And then, so these are the others. So I trust that you will benefit from this course, as I said earlier, in implementing your research plan. So what have we learned? What have we learned? In the last 25 minutes, we reviewed the course objectives and also the course content. Then I shared with you the report on the entry-level competencies of students. And towards the end, that's about a few minutes ago, we browsed the proposed titles of project reports and thesis. Although this interaction with you is to be like 45 minutes, we can edit here so that I can have question and answer. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn over to you all. If you want to take the floor, please just raise your hand or just unmute, because I have three screen areas. now. So if you want to take the floor, just unmute your microphone and ask a question. So the question and answer session is now open. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Yes. Hello. Yeah, please go on.
My name is Lasisi from Nigeria.
Yes, thank you.
And we've seen the list of proposed topics for our project. And I followed you when you were discussing with the Burundi peoples last year, where you give us how we can really get a true topic of our project. And with the one we've given now, is there a way we can still fine-tune it? Because while filling it yesterday, I just came up with something because we just have to fill in the question there. Is there still a chance for us to still redefine it to meet the purpose of this course?
Yes, of course. There is the possibility of your doing that. Everything is tentative, at this stage. We will keep modifying, fine-tuning. For instance, about the middle of this of the course, you may find the need, based on the lectures that you have heard, you may find the need to fine-tune, and so you can fine-tune and have discussions with your supervisor. So it is not closed in terms of the modification to the titles. Now, I'd like to stress that, or I'd like to inform you that after this class, like after every class, I'm going to email to you the PowerPoint presentations of all your facilitators. Do you like that? Yeah, I can see.
Yes,
Yeah, that's it. I can see you like that. Immediately, as soon as the class is over, within 30 minutes, you will get the PowerPoint slides, and within 2 hours, you will get the video. So that's how the whole thing is going to work. Because the next class is that of Professor Shola Adeshokwe from the US. Actually, but it will be like about 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. His time now, so it's going to wake up very, very early. And as soon as it's through, I will then send you the PowerPoint slides. So our wonderful facilitators who are joining us, Professor Nimi Briggs, Professor Arigbabu, Professor Wolabi, Professor Mike Faborode, Professor Sonny Hove, and all of them. Please note that we need to receive your PowerPoint slides at least a day, although we said 2 days, at least a day before your presentation, so that we'll send to our students. Alade Okin Olumide, you have the floor. Yes, we're waiting for you. Okay, who is next? Who is next? Is still battling with his. Who is next? Who wants to take the floor? Who wants to ask a question?
Sir. Good morning,
Yes.
sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, sir. My question is this, sir. Concerning our project work, sir. Have we been assigned to supervisors already? We would like to know who we'll be working with so that we can begin to do our work with you as the class progresses, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very good question. The Deputy Center Leader, Professor Wolabi, is here. The Center Manager is here. We're almost concluding that, and you get to know who your supervisors are. But make a note that the supervisor will only work with your heart's desire. So all these topics are important for you by way of the early start of the process. So get a topic and you then go share with your supervisor as soon as you know him or her, and then you can begin to move forward with that. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Gwile, yes.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. My question is,
Yeah.
can one publish a rejected grant application if there exists a journal that can make this possible?
I'm not sure I understand your question, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to yield to, no, just a minute. I'm going to yield to Professor Mike Faborode, and Professor Emeritus Professor Nimi Briggs to answer your question. Ask your question again, and I'm going to ask Professor Faborode and Professor Briggs to answer you. Yes?
Thank you very much, sir. I'm asking if your project for grant application was rejected, can you publish it in a that is acceptable, or that can accept such a publication?
Okay, good question. What he has asked, Professor Mike Faborode, I can see you are smiling there already, is that when you write an application for a grant and you send in your proposal for the study, and the people say no, we don't want to touch this. Are you able to now, with the proposal, finalize as a study and then publish? Over to you, sir, Professor Michael Faborode.
Yeah, I think I need to get the question very clear, because a proposal proposes that the work has not been done. And so you write a proposal where you want to get something done.
Yes.
So if it's rejected and the work is not yet done, I don't think the publication issue can arise. But if you now succeed in getting some funding to do the work elsewhere, I mean, by all means, if it has ended up where you can send it for publication. I hope the clarification is clear.
Very clear, sir.
Daddy, Grandpa, Emeritus Professor Nimi Briggs.
But Chairman, I tend to agree with what Mike did say. Journals differ in their quality and what they accept or not accept. If a particular journal has rejected a paper, I'm assuming that the project is already been done, and then he has a paper he wants to publish it. If a particular journal rejects it and it tries another journal and that journal accepts it, there's nothing wrong with that. It only goes to show the qualities of the journals and their orientations, what they accept or not accept.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you, sir. So, any other question? Yes. Our Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Iduwola Yinka, Vice Chancellor. By the way, for those who are just joining us or who joined us at 10 a.m., the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, has agreed to host us to a lunch after Professor Adeshokwe has finished his presentation. So we're all moving to Ibadan virtually, although we're all locked down wherever we are, but we're going to move to Ibadan virtually to have that lunch. Over to you, sir.
Well, we've done the menu.
Yeah, I think the question asked by our colleague, I can't remember his name now, is quite confusing. I think he was trying to mix grant proposal writing and writing scientific papers. I think that's two different. So I guess that was why Faborode didn't know exactly how to tackle his submission. If it were to be a situation in which you submitted a completed research paper to a journal and it's rejected, of course you can repackage it and submit it to another journal. I guess he was trying to mix grant proposal with paper writing. From a grant proposal. I guess that was where the confusion came in. Thank you, sir.
I assumed it was the second one, and I answered the second question.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Welcome, Yinka.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir. So, any other question? I hope that satisfies you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, is there another question that we want to take? Yes, Joseph Masirika. Joseph.
Thank you, Professor. This is Joseph Masirika from University of Burundi. I have two small questions. The first one is about the duration of the course. Is the course taking 3 months, full 3 months, or the 3 months is just for the 3 courses? The second one is, what about the timetable? How are we going to learn each of the courses as we did last year with the ICT in doctoral research? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joseph. I'm not too sure that maybe you are the only one that has not got the timetable, because we have sent the timetable to everybody. Since it will appear you have not received the timetable, please send me a mail. Send me a mail so that I can send the timetable to you.
Okay.
But to answer your question directly, this course is for full 3 months. And please be prepared. Be prepared for the workshops. Look, we're talking about advanced research. We're talking about advanced statistics. This will take a lot of workshops, a lot of lectures, a lot of interaction, a lot of assignments. So it's for 3 months. And the other courses will also run in parallel. So you will get the timetable from me. Just send me a mail. I will make that available to you.
Okay.
So any other?
Thank you.
We'll take 2 more if there are. Thank you very much, Joseph. We'll take 2 more so we can have some 15-minute break, and I will meet you all again for the next class. Yes? Any other? All right. It appears that we do not have any questions for now, but I will ask you some questions. Let's see now. Desire, are you there? Oh, Desire is not. Michael Ige. Michael. Is everybody freezing? Can you hear me?
Otherwise, life would be extremely boring.
I know.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you so very much.
I told my people I'm going for a class.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm going to ask Professor Mike Faborode, when you were
Yes, sir.
a student in one of these leading universities, and you had advanced this course of advanced research methods and statistics. Can you share with us, sir? I'm going to ask a number of us this question. Professor Faborode, are we still there?
Yeah, I'm on.
Yes, okay.
But the system is
having some challenge. Yes, it will have some challenge because the platform is being used by everybody all over the world now. Can you still hear me, sir? As we close, I want the 4 vice chancellors to tell us, to give wise counsel to these PhD students and also the masters. So I begin with Professor Mike Faborode.
Well, thank you, sir. That's rolling back some 37 years. Not as much as Professor Briggs anyway. Well, some of the topics were not as current than the issue of meta-analysis and things. But the basic statistics, F-tests, ANOVA, MANOVA, those ones were well covered, and we found it very useful in practical experience, particularly in agriculture, where we deal with crop varieties, several soils, and several situations. So I think I will advise the students to pay particular attention. They find it very, very useful in their practice.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much. I take on Professor Briggs, sir.
I want to go along what Professor Faborode did say. If he rolls back 30-something years, mine rolls back 40 years. Now, the point I wish to make is that we were not half as lucky as these ladies and gentlemen now on. We did not the system seems to be having some problems. Is that correct?
Yeah, but go on, sir. Go on, sir.
So I should go ahead. We did not have such advanced courses on statistics. No, we didn't. The only statistics we did as a course was as undergraduate students when we were studying public health. And thereafter, you found your own way. You got to know what was important for the work you were doing and what was not important. And when you take medicine, which in a way has to do with some aspects of behavioral sciences, you know the importance of statistics would be. So I consider these ladies and gentlemen very lucky to have such a course, which I want to plead to them that they should take seriously and learn from, because they will have tools with which they will now run the balance of the academic life for CFC. We picked along all these things as we grew and got interested, but we never had a course such as we are now. Thank
you so very much, sir. Kaza was disturbing us, so I've removed him. Let's hear our Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan. Over to you, VC, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think the beauty of this is that you have asked the two eminent and highly respected scholars before me, and one could draw lessons and similarities. The truth of the matter is most of the statistics that I use were what I taught myself, really. That was my PhD when I came to Ibadan as a lecturer in April 1988, exactly 32 years ago. So I didn't really do so much statistics for my PhD, but just like I never used a computer when I was doing my undergraduate studies. So it's like continuous education. But now one knows that statistics is highly important. I mean, somewhere along the line, I've written a few papers that I had to do some modeling, and statistics then came in. So I had to more or less teach myself. So most of those topics I was not taught whether at an undergraduate was even as a research student in the UK, but I find them most useful. And like Professor Briggs rightly mentioned, now there are so many packages that you can use, but of course it's always good for you to know the basic principles. The principles are basically the same, but at least in the application there are so many applications. So I find it very useful. But like I said, it's what I really have to teach myself. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, sir. Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan. Great. Thank you for trying to and we have Professor Arigbabu, Vice Chancellor of Tai Solarin University, super 5-star Professor Martin. Professor Arigbabu, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Well, let me say, having allowed juggernauts and to speak before me, probably I will just be hiding little or nothing. But it's also an opportunity for me to also thank you for inviting me. Also to thank Professor Nimi Briggs, who was at my interview as the Vice Chancellor. He was one of the resource persons. I've not seen him since then. Thank you very much. It's a small world. It's a small world.
Yes.
I
want to also thank Professor Faberedi and then the Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan.
Thank you.
Of course, Professor Okebukola also did interview for me before my interview. Thank you very much.
Now we know.
Now, I will actually go along with particularly what Professor Lainka said. You see, during my time, I didn't have the opportunity of having a course like this where you have all these topics that will be taught in a class. And at doctoral level, what you do most of the time is that you have to teach yourself a lot of things. In fact, I have to teach myself a lot of things apart from the ones I knew before. And I want to encourage the students here to use this opportunity very well. It's very rare to have a situation where you have all these type of things packed together. In fact, you count yourself very, very lucky. And by the time you finish, then you just be like any researcher anywhere in the world. You'll be so confident to do research and submit papers into top-rated paper journals, and it will be accepted. So it's an opportunity, and I wouldn't want you to just let it slip off. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. These are the words of our elders, and they are very weighty, and we need to. We have a saying in my place. You should hold it in your left hand, so you don't use to chop. You use to chop paper. So treasure those words of wisdom. It's now my pleasure to bring this first lecture for ACE811-911 to close. I look forward to meeting with you again on Monday. It's only Mondays that we have this course. But over weekends, by the way, your quiz will come up on Friday, and there's discussion forum that you come to post your discussion notes on by Thursday. So please go back to the calendar and let us follow as it is. So I'm going to wish you well now, and Professor Adesokpe will be coming on in another 10 minutes. So from me, ladies and gentlemen, it is bye. I'm going to close the meeting now and get you to, I will invite you again for the meeting, for the course for Professor Adesokpe. So bye-bye, everybody, and take care.